Hi guys, and welcome to the Box Office Club, your hub for all things movie news, reviews, numbers, and updates. We're your host. I'm Kate.
And I'm Emily, and today we will be giving our straight-from-the-seat review on Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantimania. For those just tuning into us and don't know how our reviews work, it's basically this. Kate and I go to see the newest movies at the theater together, and during this we say nothing to each other. We see the movie, exit the theater, give a nod to each other, and then we come straight back to the studio to say for the first time out loud our thoughts on the movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is the 32nd installment of the Marvel franchise and the third of the Ant-Man movies. Previous movies in this franchise have made a combined $396.9 million domestically, and with around an estimated $200 million budget, Marvel is hoping for a strong three-digit opening on this holiday weekend. The newest installment takes place after the events of Loki, and really is the kickoff for Phase 5. So, let's talk about it.
All right. I was pretty excited to get to this one because I had a lot to catch up on.
You sure did.
Due to my illness, I was able to. What I remember of that, we'll see. That's to come. But I did make it through. I did watch it all. So I was pretty excited for this. I'm always excited for Paul Rudd.
Yes.
He was amazing.
Literally, I have this giant note. I love Paul Rudd.
So at some point, I don't think that this is going to be a spoiler, but at some point, they got the number of Paul Rudds we need in the world correct.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
He's always fantastic. So,
He is.
Always good. How was that catch up like? Because you had to watch WandaVision, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I did watch the What If series. And I think those are the three that really pertained to it.
I think those were the three. I was like, you gotta get to those ones at least. Because you'd already seen Loki and No Way Home.
Yes.
Because you skipped your re-binge for those two.
I had to for No Way Home. And then a friend of ours said, you really have to go watch Loki. And then that's kind of what sparked me going back into watching all of Marvel. So, because Loki was just so good. And so the watching of all of those in the short amount of time, I don't know the effects of how that's going to be long term, because watching anything that quickly, but I think I was able to see a lot of the connections and stuff. And it wasn't like, the season of WandaVision came out, 3 months before Doctor Strange. So, then there was that gap in there or anything like that. So I think that kind of helped with, any callbacks that there were.
Got you. So did it make you more excited for this movie, knowing with all the multiversal shenanigans? I was trying to think of the word for it.
Shenanigans?
Is that? Yeah, I guess shenanigans is a good word. I don't think that's the one I was looking for, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it helped with all of the multiverse stuff that's going on, because they talk about the incursions and stuff. So it's not like, wait, what was that word again? What do incursions mean? It was very fresh because it was yesterday. So it was
yesterday.
Nice for all of that to kind of come together and solidify my brain with this. So I liked it.
I do not have the time that you have in your life to do all these rewatches. So literally 30 minutes before we left for the theater, I was watching the complete, here's the recap of anything that has to do with Ant-Man whatsoever. And I was like, yes. So I watched that because I forgot about, I think the whole second movie, I just completely forgot was a thing.
Yeah. And I watched that last week.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was very fresh. So yeah. Yeah, that was that is what I will be doing going forward when I'm done with this rewatch. Never again am I doing a complete rewatch because there's no way.
Not with 32.
Not with 32. Absolutely
and you
not.
gave me that number because of your spreadsheet. Is that including the shows?
No.
So this is just a 30-second movie.
I believe it might contain some of the shows.
Okay.
But it's not including like the Netflix Daredevil Jessica Jones ones.
But like it includes like the Disney Plus ones.
I believe so.
Is it as updated to like She-Hulk, Moon Knight?
That should be. I think so because it's on my list to watch because originally I was like maybe I'll back off a little bit once these movies come out, but now I'm like really interested and I want to watch everything. And now I want to catch up with everything and then stay caught up with it.
Yes, staying caught up. I am completely caught up on all the movies. Mm-hmm. TV shows, not so much. I think we're like 3 episodes in the Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. Still haven't seen Moon Knight. Still haven't seen She-Hulk. Still hasn't seen the Marvels. Don't come at me. I'm trying my best.
It's really hard when you take time in between. And there was a time, like a couple of years there, where they just boom, 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 boom.
Well, yeah, because COVID, they're like, here's all these shows.
Yeah.
Have fun. And you're like,
But then everyone was coming out with shows. Mm-hmm. So you were watching things that weren't Marvel to like get away from Marvel a little bit because they were giving so much. So then like I think like Bridgerton came out and everyone consumed that in a week.
I still couldn't because Matthew,
let her watch it.
We're like probably 3 episodes into season 1 of that too before he got bored and was like, I want to watch something else, but you can't watch it without me.
No, you guys gotta watch that. But I don't know when you're gonna be able to get to that.
Whenever I find the time.
Yeah. So with all of those shows coming out, it was I can't remember what made me stop watching Marvel. But it was I can't even remember what movie around it was that I stopped. I feel like it actually might have been EndGame.
I feel like a lot of people needed like EndGame was a lot. So
it was.
I don't know if I told you this or if you knew that, but I did not watch Marvel until 3 years ago.
I think you did tell me that.
And
I was shocked.
Because I didn't like the hype. I wasn't for it.
Yes.
I was like, I had seen Guardians of the Galaxy because I saw a raccoon in the trailer and I was like, I'll go watch it. I probably didn't even know it was related to Marvel. I was just like, this looks cute. There's a raccoon. I'd seen the Hulk because who hasn't seen the Hulk? And I had seen Doctor Strange because I'm in love with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
So I'd only seen those 3 movies.
Gotcha.
Until I became friends with some of our friends who were like, I'm not going to associate with you until you watch these movies. So she owns all of them on DVD and she has them in timeline order.
Of course.
And she dropped them off. She
goes, my gosh.
Go to town.
Wow.
So in like 2 months, I had seen every movie.
Wow.
And then I watched EndGame. And I cried like a little bitch. And I called her and I was like, I hate you. Why would you do this to me? What in your rotten little brain thinks that any of this is acceptable? And then Far From Home came out in theaters.
Yes.
So I had seen that maybe like not even a week after finishing EndGame. And when they do the callback to Tony's death, spoiler, question mark? I don't know.
At this point,
if you're watching a Straight from the Seat review about this, then you probably have seen EndGame.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's too soon.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
That is very soon.
Stop.
Definitely.
And now I've been down the rabbit hole ever since. But I am still a noob to Marvel.
I definitely watched Iron Man not when it first came out, because I believe that was 2008. I think maybe it was showing my age here. I think it was back when Netflix did the DVDs that they sent to your house.
Oh my God.
So we didn't get it because there was such a long wait for it. So we had to wait, I think, at least a couple of months, maybe almost a year to get to like see it. So it was either the end, like a couple months after it came out, or it was the following year that we watched Iron Man. So I've been watching them since 2008, 2009. So
okay, I was trying to think because I was like, how old was I? I was 10, so
yeah,
probably would have been like prime age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely to like grow up with that.
Because I think my brother might have, because he's 2 years. He's not 2 years younger than me. He's 4. So you would have been like 6, maybe. So
yeah, so he's literally grown up with them.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah. It's so crazy to think about. Like it's been going on since 2008 that they like revamped, and now it's like this MCU because like they've obviously had X-Men and everything like that. So it's crazy with all the comic books and now the MCU film TV universe and how now they're getting all of that and they're coming out with all of these.
I can't keep up.
There's so many.
The people who like, I admire like the people in this industry that it hits like Disney Plus and then the next day they're like, here's my review of the season, and I'm like, yeah, well they probably they get paid to do it, so they don't have like real people jobs like I do. Some of them might, but
real people jobs.
Like they don't have the 9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So some of them do, and the people that do and that can get it out like that, I give so much credit.
Amazing.
I mean, even if I guess this is your full-time job and you don't have another job and your full-time job is this stuff, if you're still watching it in a day and then formulating your thought, like still props to you, because I would get distracted. I'd pick up a book, I'd go play with my dog, and then I'd be like, oh shit, I have a deadline.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it does help with some of them, the episode lengths for those seasons and everything. They're not too long. I think I looked it up because I was like, I'm trying to timeline this. I think WandaVision, it takes 6 hours to watch, and there's 9 episodes, but they vary in length between like 35 minutes and 40 or 50 minutes. So it took about 6 hours to watch.
I feel like with the time you spend researching this, you could have watched them all.
Oh yeah, probably. But what about my spreadsheet?
So let's get back to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's talk about this movie. And I'm going to try my best to make sure that this is as spoiler-free as possible, because we're getting it up on the first weekend. You know, not a lot of people are going to see it. They might be listening to see how it is, or they might be listening after because they want to hear our spoilers. So if we tread on anything that seems spoilerish, we will give a warning. I'll try and do time codes in the description for when we get back off of a spoiler talk. If we even go that route, we'll see. But off the bat, first thing that I wrote down on this piece of paper was, I need Scott Lang's book.
Yes. I want to read every goddamn word.
Every goddamn word.
Yes. I need it. I also need the audiobook that Paul Rudd
Narrates.
Yeah. I need it. Like, that should absolutely
be a real thing.
Be a thing. Like, MCU, just keep branching out. Like, just keep going. Who's here to stop you at this point?
True. I wonder if we went to like a Barnes and Noble.
Ooh.
If it might act like, because I feel like you have to sell that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got Paul Rudd's face on it.
That sells.
That's absolutely sells.
That's all you need.
That's it. That is it. That's amazing. The first thing that I put down, which I don't know if this will be a spoiler because it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just a cameo.
Okay.
Did you see Ryan Bergara?
Who?
From BuzzFeed Unsolved? Ryan Bergara was in the beginning of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantimania.
Now I need to go get...
We need to go back and rewatch it. Because you know how much I love Shane. You know how much I love both of them and BuzzFeed Unsolved. I fall asleep to it. all the time.
I know.
And I look up and I go, wait, what? And I put Ryan Bergara, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I've never heard his last name. I don't know why. I know Shane Madej, but I've never heard Ryan's last name. So I'm like,
Who?
who? Mm-hmm. I wrote, because I also marked, there's a quite a few cameos in this movie, but at one point I wrote, oh my God, the guy from The Good Place.
Yes, Chidi! I also put down Chidi! I was like, oh my God, I love him! I was so excited for that. But yeah, that was the third thing that I wrote down. So I wrote Chidi! Exclamation point.
I'm glad that you remember the name, because I did not. I was like, oh my God, the guy from The Good Place. And then I wrote like what his character is in case I forgot when we came back to talk about it, or if you didn't know who that was and you're like, who?
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I love The Good Place. That's such a good show. And he was one of the best characters. Everyone on that show was amazing.
Yeah, but I was so excited.
That's so fun. But yeah, in the beginning, like, montage scene when he's out to lunch and they look over to the other couple having lunch, there's Ryan Bergara in all of his BuzzFeed Unsolved glory.
Wait, I think I know what scene you're talking about, and I think you're wrong.
No, I looked it up.
Oh.
I made sure. I was like, and was I seeing things? Because his hair was grown out?
Wait, in the couple one where they're like going to pay?
Yeah.
I thought that was the detective.
He was having lunch with him.
Oh,
the couple that was going to pay.
He was the other couple.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yes.
because I was like, no, ma'am.
No. That is James Woo. Yes.
Okay, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, no, you're... Okay. Okay, so he was not sitting with Paul Rudd.
No.
Okay.
No, he was, like, there, like, paying for his lunch, like...
Oh, okay. That makes far more... I was like, man,
you're
they
like,
do look...
whoa.
I was like, they do look kind of similar, but not that similar.
No.
You're just dreaming it into existence. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. A lot of what I wrote is cameo.
Right? Actually, no. I think those are my two. Oh, here's, like, a not cameo. I was really upset to not see Michael Pena in it. I was so... Because, like, that was kind of a staple of the first two movies, was when they went to his scenes, and he's talking so fast, and then the scene that they're, like, lip-syncing to what he's saying, and he didn't make a cameo.
Yeah.
I was a little upset about that.
There wasn't, I feel like, a lot of time. For, like, there were, like, a lot of cameos, but, like...
Mm-hmm. It would not have made sense to this story.
Yes.
So I get it, but I was still a little upset.
Let me find a non-cameo line that isn't also a Here's something.
Okay.
We have not talked about what we thought about the movie, but I want to say this first real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So we got the answer to our Marvel swearing question. Mm-hmm. And I remember because I got very excited when this happened. This movie is PG-13. Mm-hmm. And they say the word dick like 6 times in the course of 2 minutes.
Yes. Yes, they do.
So
and then they do also say shit.
A lot. Mm-hmm. And damn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They didn't say the F word. So as long if the F word is what makes it an R, then I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's like you just say it once and they're like, you're an R.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do I know? I don't work for the movie association board rating committee, whatever the hell it is.
Gotcha, yeah.
But okay. Good to know. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about our thoughts. And then maybe we can work down our list and start getting kind of specific if we want to start getting specific.
Okay, sounds good. The second thing that I wrote down was it's always with the something I should have told you.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Which, like, not a bad thing. It's just like, I feel like it's overplayed with so much, and it all comes back to communication.
I literally, one of my thoughts I had was, like, this is just another movie showing you the importance of honesty.
Yep. Like, so much could have been avoided, but then so much could have been helped.
Yeah.
But I will say, in defense, it could have been out of trauma, of not that's why the person didn't want to talk about anything. And that's where it gets a little like, I don't want to push someone more than they want to. But in this case, like,
Yeah.
fate of the world. I mean, it's a Marvel movie. Like,
Yeah, quite literally. I agree to that to an extent, because I think there are some things, like if you know someone's gone through a trauma, you don't push. But in this instance, without giving really a spoiler, knowing that family and that family's career path,
Yes.
and that family's tendencies, maybe to just avoid any type of, possibility of falling down that rabbit hole, you just like disclose everything.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, well, I kind of told you that I didn't want to talk about that.
Yeah, but that didn't.
But why?
Yeah. Didn't say, like, something scary, like, anything. Like, it was just.
Like if you open that door, there might be a big bad, like nothing. You're just like, I don't really like talking about that.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're gonna not.
And then when you ask me questions, I'm just going to not give you an answer and not totally say, don't go there, but be like, maybe you shouldn't. Like with the history of this family, maybe you just speak up.
Yeah. And I think, especially in this day and age where we really are coming to terms with communication and honesty is a huge part of healing and just being a person. I feel like we're really learning that. Now, like we're still learning it, but we're really getting into it. Maybe we don't need to use that as a driver for
All the time.
plot all the time.
And I think I very much liked this movie. I'll say that off the bat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It felt much needed after some of the Phase 4 movies that we got. I was like, this feels good. But that was like one of the things that kind of knocked it down a little bit for me. It's like it's so played out, especially when you can see it coming, because you can see it on the character's face that they're very clearly hiding something, and then they're like, they start to get near that, and they're like, oh no, but like maybe, but and you're just like, anyone in the room could just be like, can you just tell us what you know?
Yeah.
Like, because you can just see it on their face, so it's not even like it was like a secret you would have never saw coming.
Yeah.
And that's so annoying to me.
Yeah, because it could have helped so much, and like you said, knowing that family, knowing their hobbies, knowing their hobbies and careers, like
Quite literally, you gotta do a very big red no.
yeah,
Big no square.
yeah, with explanation, because if you just put up the big don't touch that, they're gonna touch it.
They're gonna more than touch it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, but why can't I touch it? And if you're not gonna tell me, I'm gonna find out for myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
And I feel like we do have a lot of movies that are like that.
So, especially in this genre,
Yes.
it gets old.
And I would like to see what would happen if they did have all the information. How would it play out? Because it could still play out in a number of different ways with the knowledge
Yeah.
that it's going to happen or some other way is going to happen. It would, I think it would be an interesting take on a different perspective.
Yeah. Or like how to find a driving force that isn't so and so kept a secret, especially with a movie that has a lot of family tones, because that's something that I wrote down. Is I really loved the father-daughter scenes in this movie. There was one in particular, it was like kind of a fight scene, but kind of not a fight scene. And like he's trying to like teach her.
Oh my gosh, yes.
During the fight, he's like, do this, and she's like, I am doing this. He goes, doesn't look like it. And then, like they're like doing that father-daughter bicker, and that was any scene like that in this movie was very strong for me. Yeah, like I felt like their relationship really drove this movie. So then to have in other parts of the family the secret keeping, the betrayal type of stuff, like, oh, well, I didn't want to tell you, or oh, I didn't need to tell you, and oops, probably should have. It's like when you have like that strong dynamic between, you know, Scott and Cassie, and then it's not with the rest of the family, it can kind of take you away. And it's like taking away like all the really strong points of this movie, because this is essentially a movie about family at heart.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really great take. And all of the father-daughter scenes, like, I want to say they didn't feel cheesy, but like they were a little bit cheesy because it's Paul Rudd and he will make anything like cheesy and like, but like dad jokey and stuff like that. But it worked. And you're like, I felt like they really did have a strong bond, and good like relationship as actors. So I really did appreciate that. But the dynamic between Scott and Cassie, because he's always been very open with her, like from all the other movies, she knows that he's gone to prison. She knows that he's an Avenger. Yeah, like, there's literally like no secrets between them. Yeah, and then with the Pim Van Dyne family, there's nothing but secrets.
Nothing but.
So that was a cool dynamic.
And they allude that they start the secrets with Cassie. Because, you know, Scott's finding out some stuff very early in the movie about his daughter. And, like, everyone else in the family knows. And he's like, why didn't no one tell me? And they're like, well, because you would have acted that way. And he's like, I'm her father. How else am I supposed... And everyone else just thought it was so normal. Yeah. And then Cassie's like, oh, well, you know what? Let me tell you everything. And I'm like, that is good. Yeah, you know?
I forgot about that part. But yeah, that was very interesting. And of course he's going to be like, what do you mean you didn't tell me about that? Yeah. But then they did go and they talked about it. So that shows that relationship. And
then they do callback jokes to it later on. Yes. That would be a spoiler to get into, but it's freaking hilarious when they call back onto it. And I must say, the humor in this movie was chef's kiss perfection.
It was really good.
It was not too overdone. Not like the same note was not played over and over again. Every joke was unique. Every joke flowed. Everything was things that people would actually say in that situation. Yes. Like, you know, when you like crack a joke to like cut the tension. Like that's like so many of those were like, if I was in that situation, I definitely would make a smart comment like that. Yeah, like it felt so genuine, and it was such a relief after something like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes, that was that one was a hard one to watch. There were like, I remember laughing in the moment, but then like thinking back on it, I'm like it was just kind of in the moment, and then there were other parts where I was like, I'm not laughing at that because that's not funny. Like, yeah. I don't understand what you're trying to go for here.
There was one joke in this that kind of gave me Thor: Love and Thunder vibes, but I think played so much better in this movie, and it was the storyline involving the holes.
Oh my god, yes. That was hilarious.
I was like, that is Thor: Love and Thunder cheesy, but that's how you do it right. Yes. That is how you call back a previous joke.
Oh my gosh.
Without overdoing it and doing it to perfection.
And the way that the whole movie flowed was like that. Like it all the callbacks were amazing. Yes. And that's kind of how the movie went. It went like you saw it in the beginning and then you saw it at the end. So it was a nice mirror effect, and I really appreciated that. Yeah. I really like movies that do that. I'm trying to think of that other. You said something earlier. Now I was gonna say something about that, and I forgot. Oh. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll think of it later. Shoot, I'm gonna be stuck on that.
Okay,
we gotta move on.
Okay, I'll move on to something. I did talk to Matt about this in the car on the way home.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but I want you to know I have not said a word to him about the other movie. So I was like, I need... It's because, and you'll know as soon as I say it, why I had to talk to him about it. And it's because I don't know this area that well.
Okay.
Because you know me and my refusal to watch the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
But from the few that I was forced to watch, did this movie not feel like Star Wars?
Dude, I wrote down. That is the fourth thing that I wrote down. After Cheaty, ! I put giving Star Wars vibes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But I was like, I don't want to say it to Emily because she watches that and I don't want to look stupid.
No.
And I've only seen like the first 2 movies.
100%. 100%. Because I don't know I feel like it was the costumes. And some of the setting.
Yes. But also like some of the characters because in kind of a spoiler, not really a spoiler, you know from the trailer that they go to the quantum realm.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah, so they meet people there. And how the diversity within the people they meet there looked very much gave me Star Wars vibes.
Yep.
Like, especially in, I could be wrong here, but this is how I remember it, but I wasn't really paying attention. In the Star Wars where they go to like Jabba the Hutt's lair and they have all those different people there.
In the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
exactly what I thought about.
Exactly it.
Oh my God, look at me with Star
Yes!
Wars.
Oh my God, I'm so proud. I'm so happy. No, I think that's when I wrote down, because it's after we see Cheaty. I will not say his real name. It's Cheaty. After we see him, that they do go to the bar, right? So then it was like all this stuff was like building up, and then they go to the bar. And I'm like, oh my God, this is Star Wars vibes. Like,
there was one scene, and this is not a spoiler because it was so quick, and I had to like ask Matt if I was hallucinating. But is there not a scene where a character is holding a weapon that looks suspiciously like a lightsaber? Or am I out of my damn mind?
I don't.
It was with a scene. It was a scene that actually made me wrote the sound because I wrote giving Star Wars / Strange World / Dune vibes.
Okay.
More Star Wars than anything, but
Yeah.
with kind of the deserty feel,
Yes.
I was also getting Dune.
Yeah.
But in the Star Wars movies, they have the big animals that they go and they sit in, they walk on, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know their names. I know that they ride them.
I don't know the names. I'm not that much of a Star Wars nerd.
But they're big and they kind of look like an animal that gets ridden in this movie. And
at that point. Okay.
And in the interaction to break the ice with the people from the quantum realm to get the animal to ride on, they do that little thing that I'm not going to say because it's a spoiler. But then after this guy lifts his arm to the sky and it looks like he's holding a freaking lightsaber. And I'm like, this is Star Wars. Marvel has tricked me to go to a Lucasfilm movie. This is like, I was bamboozled.
They are taking over Disney. Like, that's mostly all that's on Disney Plus. So,
but like, I was like, they tricked me. They know
They
I
did.
would never watch a Star Wars thing, and they said it was Marvel, and it's not Marvel. This is a Star Wars movie, and you can't convince me otherwise.
in case you guys can't hear it yet, you're doing the hands. I didn't think Star Wars would bring it out, but you are doing the hands.
It's the betrayal of
It
being
is.
tricked into
That's
a Star
it.
Wars
That's
movie.
it. That's so funny. But I'm so glad that you picked up on that because I was getting that. It was definitely the costumes, the setting. I know what scene you're talking about now with that. So it's all clicking. So I'm absolutely probably did have a lightsaber. Like, what?
I want to go watch it again to find
Ryan Vergara.
Ryan Bagara and to make sure the lightsaber was actually real. And I wasn't just imagining it in my mind because I had already gotten so much Star Wars vibes. And I'm like, if they just whipped out a lightsaber, it'd be Star Wars. And then I was like, that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you said that.
If anyone has seen this movie, can you confirm or deny? And if you haven't seen it, when you go and watch it, could you be on the lookout for a lightsaber and then please come confirm and deny
Yeah.
that I'm not absolutely bonkers. But I feel like I'm right.
But like you said, we were getting those scenes beforehand. So it could just be your mind playing tricks on you. But really, what's the logical conclusion to that?
And it could have just been
holding it.
He was holding his weapon, and like light hit it because it was like a yellow lightsaber. So it could have even just been light hitting his weapon. But damn, if it did not look like a yellow lightsaber.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I feel so vindicated right now.
I feel so seen. No. That like I'm picking up the same things too. So it wasn't just me, because I was kind of going back and forth because it is different with like when you looked up in the sky, it didn't look like it was Star Wars or anything, because they had like the clouds and everything, because they're in the quantum realm, so it's like, you know, it looked
realmy.
like nebula. It was very realmy.
Very realmy.
But the scenes were, you know, like the ground and the structures and everything and the costumes, and it was very much, and then like traveling.
I was going to say, I felt like the whole vibe of it, not just with the setting, but how the movie was done, to me, made it feel like Marvel and Star Wars had a baby. And again, I will preface, so don't come at me. I've only seen the first 2 Star Wars. I think the original 2, like not like like episodes 4 or 5, whatever, however the hell you got.
You got
was it right?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
the 70s, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're good. You know more than you. Confidence.
I don't know
with your Star Wars.
I don't know how I feel about the fact that I know it, but like the vibe, because it really was like the traveling and how they were traveling without giving too much away, like how it takes different storylines with the travel and the cuts from, because you know you get like the cuts with like whatever the hell Darth Vader's doing. So it's like it had like that like kind of vibe the whole time. I was like, it looks like it was like edited to be a Star Wars movie too, like just the way the pacing of the film went from the 2 that I half watched.
No, I love it, because I was kind of going back and forth. I'm like, am I thinking it's Star Wars, or am I thinking that it's actually like Guardians of the Galaxy? But I did not get Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did not.
And I think part of it is because of the background setting, where the nebula looking realmy.
Yeah. And I guess the argument for that too could be like the group setting, because with the Lang / Van Dyke family, it's a big group, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, and you know, the realmy could give to that atmosphere, but I felt like the tone was very much more like Star Wars, but with like Marvel humor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that makes me like makes me mad to say I like the movie because of my just pure disinterest in Star Wars. That's a good way to put it. Because I feel like if I watched it now, I would like it, but I feel like I have such bad memories of just being like forced to watch it and like it, that I just like, my will is like, no, I can't like it. I can't watch it because they tried to force it on me, and fuck the patriarchy, you know, like that. But like, I'm like, dang, if this is kind of how that movie is, maybe I would like it. It makes me really mad.
I will say I've seen all the movies, but I haven't watched any of the TV shows for Star Wars, so can't help you out there. Kind of want to, though.
Oh my god, you're gonna make a spreadsheet for it. I already know.
Oh, you know I would. Because they keep coming out with more stuff. Just like Marvel. So much stuff. But I'm working through it.
I watched like 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. Does that count?
Oh, yeah, that would count.
I only watched it because
I didn't watch any of it.
I just watched it because Baby Yoda was in it. And, like, he was like breaking the internet, and I was like, I just gotta see this. I didn't watch. I don't remember a single thing about the storyline, and I got really bored. And Matt's like, no, I want to keep watching it. I was like, remember all the shows that I really liked, and then you got bored, and you're like, I want to finish it with you, but just like not now, and then we don't touch it for another 2 years. That's gonna be the show for me.
Yeah.
I'm using that card on you.
You guys should do like a split screen or something. So then you're in the same, or like 2 TVs in the same room.
We have 5. Like, we definitely could. Let's get back.
That is everything on my list, though.
Oh my God.
I don't write down a whole lot.
No, I had a hard time with this one. I have a lot for our second episode, but not for this one.
Okay.
So we should probably talk about the Kang in the room.
That was amazing.
I'll see myself out. Yeah. Goodbye. I had to.
You had to.
Yeah, it literally came to me in the moment. And in the spirit of Marvel and their humor, I couldn't let it pass me by.
Definitely not. There was a lot. There was a lot for him.
He's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
Because of the multiverse and the importance of his characters, which is not really a spoiler because he was in the trailer, and his importance gets revealed at the end of Loki. So, I mean, I guess if you haven't seen Loki, what are you doing? Go watch Loki so you can watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because you can't do one without the other.
Yeah, come on, I did it.
Yesterday.
Actually, I watched Loki last year, so.
That's true. You watched everything else yesterday.
The past couple of days. When I was in and out of my haze.
But I was thinking, I was like, if he's going to be the new big bad, or some variant of him is going to be the big bad, this actor's going to be busy.
Yeah.
Like, he said, like, he doesn't auditions who? Like, he's...
Seriously.
They probably have him up until, like, phase 7. Like, who freaking knows what they're going to do with the diversity that they could do with the multiverse timeline.
And I will say, with the MCU right now, they're bringing people in. It's the same actors, but for the most part. I think there's only a few times that they've actually, like, recast people. And I'm like, that good on you. Like, and the voices and stuff, too, even are the same people, the same actual actors. So I think in What If, they just changed a couple of people.
Yeah, I think they didn't have a choice to.
Yeah. But with him, I think that, he's gonna have a lot of work in the future.
Yeah. No, it's... And no, that's going to be too much of a spoiler. JK. But do we like the new Marvel Big Bad? What do we think that this is going to bring to Marvel? The idea of a multiversal, all-knowing Kang.
I think it's interesting because of all the different... We know about the multiverse. We know, like... that there's different variations of people and everything. So I think it'll be interesting to see how, because he's all knowing.
Yeah.
Like,
because he can see all the timeline, because he runs the timeline.
He runs the timelines. How they all interact. Like, are they all, like, vying for power?
Yeah. I want to know. I think that this movie sets up what could be the tone for the rest of this phase, and maybe even the next. I don't know how long they're going to run the story for, but I think they set it up well, which is something that Marvel has been kind of needing, was a big bad, but like a continuous big bad, because you'll have like in Shang-Chi, you know, the big bad, and then the big bad's gone, you know, like it's a personal big bad.
Yeah.
You know, so there's been a lot of these people pop up and they wreak some havoc for a movie, and then they're bye-bye. They're either reformed or they're defeated or they give up, you know, like, so it's exciting to see something that could go so many different routes because you don't even know who he's going to affect next.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. And then with the multiverse opening up, because, I mean, just the one universe was a lot. Yeah. A lot happened with just the one. But now we've got the multiverse. We've got... infinity like number of possibilities where they could stretch this. So,
and then while all these people are fighting the big bad, and we see whatever universe, whatever version of King pops in. Well, yeah, so whatever version of King pops into whatever universe he feels like it, and whoever he decides to affect, then we got Loki and Owen Wilson running around behind the scenes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see where they pop up again.
Yeah.
And are they going to pop up in the next movie, or is it going to be like season 2 of Loki where we get more?
I think it's season 2 of Loki, but I hope that season 2 of Loki interweaves into some movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope really whatever goes down there,
yeah,
we start seeing on the bigger screen.
Yeah. Because we did see that with WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Multiverse of Madness?
Yes.
There we go. Got it.
Nailed it.
Just watched it yesterday.
I think that's really all I had. I think for some reason the Star Wars line was like tone, I guess, was really the big one for me. I think just overall I enjoyed it. And I think that it's something that Marvel has really needed. Yes.
I remembered what I was going to talk about earlier.
Yes. I saw it on your face.
Yes.
Ooh, hit me with it.
Okay. So, as you know, obviously, because you were there, we go to a very small local theater.
Yes.
There were not that many people.
No. Which was sad.
4:00 showing.
Because I guess we'll get busier at night, but like we still even like accounted to be there like 30 minutes early.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I looked at my clock. I was like, oh my God, you need to go. And then I forgot half of my shit. So I had to go back to my house and get it anyway. But I got there in 10 minutes before the movie, I think. I think it was about 10 minutes before. And we got in line, and I was like, oh, okay, there's not a line. First, I saw you two in the lobby, and I was like, oh my God, there's going to be such a long line. There really wasn't a long line.
No, we were just waiting for you because we saw your car pull into the parking lot. Because it's that small of a place. I saw your blinker down the road. I was like, oh, Emily's here. There she is. So we waited. Because that's how small of a theater we go to.
I'm trying to think, like, maybe 25 people.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid guess. Because there's some bigger groups. So maybe 30.
Yeah, at most.
Yeah.
But there was a group of 4 people that were sitting up. They were the closest, but they were like, I don't know, row 4 or 5.
Row 4 to the right?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I think it was during the previews, and I heard someone speak up during one of the previews, and I go, okay, this can either go one of 2 ways. This could be horrible and
a black phone situation
where we got to get up and be like,
you got to use your teacher voice on them.
Oh, and I will bust that out. While also being sick. Oh, that's my favorite. Because the kids really respond to that. These were not kids. These were grown-ass people. But anyway, sometimes they still respond.
But they didn't go the black phone route. They went route number 2.
Which was giggling at everything.
Everything.
I was giggling because they were giggling. And it was so funny. Like, at one point, it literally was a giggle from a grown-ass man. And I was like, you're my spirit animal.
I love going to... That's why I love going to premiere. Because you always wait. Before this, you always waited until, like, second or third. And Matt and I, we try to go first, second night. And normally we'd go to the night shows, but I knew we had a lot to record because we have a second episode after this. So I was like, I'm not going to pick the 7 o'clock show, which is my preferred route. We'll go a little earlier. Because I love that experience.
Yes.
I love that vibe. I think Shang-Chi was one of the first movies that Matt and I went to, a bigger movie that we went to after COVID and when theaters started getting bigger. And there was just such an ambiance to it, and everyone was so excited because I think it was one of the first Marvel movies after, except for Black Widow. But
that opened up with streaming right away.
Yes, and it also was kind of kind of right after. Like, I think the theater we go to might have opened up like 2 weeks before that came out. So not every theater was open. So this was like the first one. Like, almost every theater is back open, and it was packed, and people were just like vibing, and you could feel the energy, and it was so great. And I love going to premieres like that. When we went to Spider-Man: No Way Home, we went maybe the Friday night. Mm-hmm. Yes, because I worked the premiere and I heard all the cheering and I was like, I'm not waiting another day.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we went
yep.
Friday night, and that theater was probably one of the loudest. There was whooping and cheering all the time. When something happened, there was oohs and ahs.
Yes.
And, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
I love that atmosphere. So even if I'm not having a good time and I hear like other people are having a good time, I'm happy because the movie's doing what the movie's supposed to be doing.
Which is bringing people together.
Yes.
And one of my favorite TikTok videos that I will go back and I'll search for and I'll rewatch whenever I'm having like a bad day and I want like to feel that good. It is a Marvel movie, and it kind of changed my mind on like going to some of these premiere movies because it's someone took a video which of going to see EndGame, a premiere, and excuse me. So it was EndGame.
Okay.
And it's the, I guess, spoiler.
You haven't seen
Endgame, like,
what are you doing?
Again.
Yeah.
But it's when they're fighting Thanos and Captain America has Mjolnir. And they're like, everyone's like, what? I knew it! Like, they're like, oh my god! Like, everyone's freaking out. Like, you hear it in the video, and you can't even hear what's going on the screen anymore. People are erupting. And then you just see, you know, Captain America swinging Mjolnir and then throwing it. And then it goes to Thor, and he goes, oh, I knew it! And everyone's like, ah! And it's just this, like, moment that brought everyone together. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, I think that's what you want when you go to see a movie at a premiere. And a lot of the times when I've gone, it's been people dissing the movie. And I'm like, I don't care if you don't like it. Just, if you're not having a good time, don't ruin it for everyone else. But if everyone's having a good time, that's what needs to feed that energy.
It's an ecstatic experience. Like, if I could go back to the premiere of No Way Home when Matt and I went, I would, like, I wish every movie experience like that. Because it was loud, but it was, like, a respectful, like, you were making it known you were enjoying it at all of the right moments.
Yes.
And we were joining in, we were whooping, there were, you know, No Way Home's, like, a little over a year old, so I guess I'm not really going to spoil it, but, like, I think everyone knows. But, you know, there are some scenes that get people real excited. And I know there was, like, one point, like, people, like, stood up. And they're just, like, hand clapping.
Yeah.
And Matt and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, it was so fun, you know? And that, I love that type of energy going to a movie. So it was really nice to have that today.
Yeah. Even if it was just those 4 people.
It's really all it takes. Because you really just know that. Because it is infectious. Like, it was making you...
Oh, my God.
I was trying not to laugh super loud at some of the points because, like, I was like, Emily can't know I'm enjoying this.
Right?
We're supposed to be static right now. We are in critical review points. But I was like, I was laughing.
Yep. I think at one point they giggled, and then I heard you giggle. I'm like, I'm giggling.
You're like, that's my opening. She cracked first.
Yes. I was like, I have to. Because it was just, you weren't expecting that giggle. Like, it was, I think it was that point, the callback that you brought up earlier, that we can't spoil it. I think it was that point, because it was so, we're all like...
And if more people were there, that would have been a crowd moment.
Absolutely.
Because that was... I don't even think I giggled because of them. I think I giggled because I was trying to hold it in, and I was like, I can't not.
And then
can't
the giggle,
laugh at that.
and then the giggle happened.
And then the giggle happened, and I side-eyed you, and I was like, no, I can't look at her. She can't see me laughing.
Right? I think right before the movie started, like, we watched all the previews and we were talking about the previews a little bit, and then like, it was starting, and we're like, oh, okay, now we cannot talk.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not looking.
No.
And there was a few points I went to, like, go look at you and say so. I was like, no, Matt, okay. Hey.
I know, I'm like, do we need a buffer? Like,
that's why I just, like, I bring him.
Yes.
So, like, if I want to say something, I was like, I'll just go say that shit to him. Because he doesn't care.
Yeah. I'm going to see if my brother can come to some of them. I think John Wick, because it's around his birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you can come, so then I can be like, you know, whispering some things to you. But yeah, it's really hard sometimes, because I'm like, I just want to, like, look over and be like, make knowing eyes
I'm
at you.
just genuinely enjoying it, and I'm the type of person, especially when I share something, and I guess like I'm not sharing this because this is something we both are into and both want to go to. But if I'm sharing something and I'm enjoying and having a good time, I look over because I want to make sure that the person that I am experiencing with this is feeling the same things I'm feeling. So I'll go and I'll look over and you'll like give me a side eye, like stop looking at me, like stop trying to read my. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I just
I'm trying to read my mind.
I was like, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you're happy. Are you happy?
But then I'm like, I don't want to look over because like I don't want whatever expression you have in your face to like color my expression of what I think is going on. But I'm like, but yeah,
that's what
at the
makes
same time,
it
like,
so
are
fun.
you,
like this experiment that we do. It makes it even more because especially the anticipation. I was like, gotta get home, gotta get to the studio, gotta go. Like,
oh my gosh! Because for our next episode, it's been a couple of days, and I'm very proud of us.
I haven't. I'm not even getting into that. Yeah,
no, we'll get into it.
So, any other thoughts?
I think I'll just end with I'm really glad I caught up with what I needed to. I feel like I would have been a little bit lost.
Yes.
So definitely those three, the WandaVision, What If, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
And Loki.
Oh, and Loki.
You didn't have to catch up on that.
I didn't have to catch up on that,
if anyone
but
is wondering
those,
what to watch, those four.
Absolutely. Those four, I don't want to say like a recap because that's a really long recap.
It's critical. It's just go find a video.
Have watched it. Yeah. But yeah, maybe watch recaps of those to get a gist of what's going on.
Yeah. Or watch them all. Like I said, like I had seen everything except for a couple TV shows, but they weren't important to the storyline, so I wasn't gonna waste my time. Yeah, they're gonna be watched before May. I'm making this promise. I'm making this vow to all the listeners. I will be completely caught up before Guardians of the Galaxy. I swear on my life.
All right. You can use my spreadsheet to keep track. But overall, it was very enjoyable.
Yes. Marvel needed this, in my opinion.
I agree.
I will say we got in the car and I was like, okay, tell me what you think, Matt. I'm not going to say what I think because I want to be fresh, but tell me what you think. And he goes, well, it wasn't a Morbius, and that's all I really ask for anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is a Marvel movie, right?
Sony.
Oh, Sony. Yeah, okay.
But like the Spider-Man Sony verse. So Spider-Man, Venom, Morbius. But they haven't connected to like an MCU project as of yet.
Or ever.
Probably never for Morbius. Sorry.
Because I did add like the Tom Holland, because of course he plays a huge role in the MCU. I added his, but I wasn't able to watch. I was like, I did want to watch Far From Home again. Because it's been a while, but it's not available on Disney. So I was like, oh, you know what? I remember those because I did go see the Tom Holland ones because my cousin loves Tom Holland. So we went to go see all the Spider-Man movies. Even when I wasn't really watching Marvel, we went and watched those.
So on a rating of 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10, however you want to do your rating scale, what would you rate Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
I am going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I think that's where my head was at, maybe like a 4.25, because I feel like I tend to dislike them more on a rewatch. So I'm just anticipating that drop.
That's valid.
But no, it's a strong contender. I also don't get 5s out a lot, so you know I gotta make my scale longer. But no, it was a good movie. It was a recommendation from me.
Absolutely, go watch this. It's very good with the strong family dynamics going on. It's really pretty to see too. I thought the colors were
I did
really
write
good.
that down somewhere, I think. Or I meant to write it down.
Yeah.
Very pretty cinematography.
Very aesthetically pleasing and stuff. And then I loved all the costumes. Michelle Pfeiffer was amazing.
Always. Because I was going to bring up let's talk about strong performances, but everyone
was so good in it.
Because they know these roles.
They do. Absolutely. And at one point, she's just a kick-ass actor. Like, she did such a phenomenal job. Even though, at some points you're like, oh my God, why are you doing this? But like,
Yeah.
that's her character. So she did fantastic.
I agree. I think we talked about everything that we could talk about without getting into spoilers. So I'm just going to say before we get into our normal wrap up, that it is never too late to stop being a dick.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. It's amazing. Oh, loved it. Loved it.
So I think that's all from us. I think we did it.
I think we did.
Remember to become a Box Office Club member to like, subscribe, review, and reach out to us at boxofficeclubpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. What did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? If you've seen it, let us know.
Stay safe, support your local theaters, tell us your thoughts on this week's box office stories, and we'll see you next time with another segment of
The Box Office Club.